Thank you. Let me bring in Adrian Elrod, former Director of Strategic Communications for Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. She's also an MSNBC contributor. She's also in Ohio. And Maria Urbina, National Political Director for the organization, the Indivisible Project. Ladies, thanks to both of you. Adrian, let me start with you. I want to play just a little bit more here from Hunter Biden's interview this morning with Amy Robach.
So you think it's perfectly fine? I mean, the Trump children have been criticized for doing similar sorts of
look. I don't look. Unlike them, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about them. I have to then answer questions about accusations made by probably the most unethical group of people that we've ever seen in this republic. My dad doesn't have to defend me. My dad only has to love me, and my dad loves me unequivocally.
Adrian, how big of a figure is Hunter Biden going to be in this debate?
You know, Craig, I don't think we're going to hear one thing about Hunter Biden in this debate because, number one, it is a non-issue. There are so many issues that the presidential candidates running to seek the Democratic nomination want to talk about tonight. Health care, better jobs, raising wages. There are a number of things they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about Hunter Biden, who Donald Trump has essentially created a conspiracy theory that does not exist. It has been debunked a number of times. Also, Hunter Biden didn't have to do this interview. He did it to try to put any other additional questions to rest, and now we're moving on. This is part of what the Trump campaign does. They try to draw some sort of parity, some sort of parallel between all of their ethical problems and ethical problems from Democrats that simply don't exist. So, Craig, if this even comes up on the debate stage tonight, I would be extremely surprised because, again, Democratic candidates are going to be very focused on the issues that matter to the American people, not talking about rehashed and debunked conspiracy theories.
Are you, if you had been advising the Biden campaign, Adrian, would you have advised Hunter Biden to sit down for this interview on the very day of the Democratic debate?
You know, Craig, I'm not sure I would have done the interview today because, of course, it's what we're talking about today. And I think we probably want to be talking about the debate and what the issues are coming up. But at the same time, is there ever really a good time to do this interview? And one can argue he didn't even have to do the interview. But I think he felt that it was important for him to do it. The campaign has obviously supported that. And we're moving on. So I'm hoping that after today, we can put that side to rest and focus on the fact that Trump and his cronies have done illegal things to try to push back on the Biden campaign to try to get this out there, and that is exactly why Congress is considering impeachment.
Maria, right now, polls, most of them show a much tighter race than we saw during the last debate. As Mike just pointed out, we essentially have two front runners right now, Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden. There's this new Morning Consult Politico survey that found that Warren facing the highest expectations of any candidate ahead of the debate tonight in Ohio. What's on the line for those two candidates, Maria, specifically, Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren tonight?
Well, certainly it's a big night for both of them, and they're absolutely both coming into tonight's debate stage with expectations. They have to hold on. And as we look across all of the debates over the summer, folks have been able to come in, have a strong performance, but sometimes those can be fleeting. And so what's really important is, yes, hold on tonight, have a commanding presence, be presidential, but really what happens in between debates is what's important. Also to note, Senator Warren has done hundreds of town halls, forums. She's really developed this fluency around her issues, the prowess around her issues. And in much like her teacher ways, she's been able to bring along a broader coalition of voters. She continues to rise in the polls. She's broadening her coalition and really is the only candidate who is doing that at this point.
Maria, meanwhile, tonight's debate's the first real campaign event for Bernie Sanders since that heart attack. His campaign manager telling my colleague Hallie Jackson last hour that at some point here in the not-so-distant future, we should get a look at these medical records. What does he need to do to put the questions about his health to rest?
What he's doing now, and it was good to hear Faz in the last hour, his campaign manager, talk really clearly about this. And he's going to come in tonight and give a roaring performance as he always does. And as Faz mentioned, he's going to New York this weekend, and he's going to continue to talk about this issue. He needs to talk about this issue, both from a transparency lens, but also because it's fair game and voters want to know that we're going to have a nominee that's strong.
Really quickly here, Adrian, we'll see Tom Steyer on the debate stage for the first time tonight. What are you looking for most, just in general, tonight?
Well, Craig, I'm looking for the performances among some of the tier 2 candidates, the candidates who really need a strong moment on this debate stage in order to propel themselves forward. I still strongly believe, Craig, that with a very diverse young electorate, which is the Democratic Party, there is a place for somebody under the age of 70 to move into this top tier of candidates. So I'm looking to see, does Kamala Harris have another good debate moment that really gets her out of that 4 to 5% and gets her back into double digits? Does Beto have a strong performance? I'm more interested in seeing those candidates and how they perform because, frankly, Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren have proven that they don't necessarily need overwhelming debate performances to be on top in the polls. I'm looking more to see who's going to emerge from this middle pack and get into that top tier status.
Adrian, now we're out there in Westerville. Thank you. Maria Urbina. Maria, thank you as well.